You've made your point. The Honorable Member for Beatrice Alachi, Honorable Beatrice Alachi. I'm just giving two people from Nairobi to comment on this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just to follow on what the member of the Greater South has said. Madam Speaker, I think what should be done and what the National Youth Service and the whole team that goes out for recruitment should do is to ensure just the way you have done each constituency, then the 17 constituency, each of them to have their day of recruitment. And also, Madam Speaker, in that same scenario, they need now to inform us, this last recruitment, how many people came from each constituency? That, I think, was the most simplest thing that Nairobi was requesting, and I think they need to also tell us, is it a policy they only did for Nairobi, or how did they come to define that Nairobi we can bulk everyone at Nyayo Stadium and have a recruitment? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Embakasi, Honorable Ulwatch. Yes, Honorable Anthony Ulwatch, I can see you. Give him the mic. Give him the mic. And be brief, please, because I was just...
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
Yes, Madam Speaker, this matter is one that is very grave and central to members of Parliament of Nairobi. The crux of the matter is one that speaks to the question of equity, equalization, and equal opportunity. Nairobi County comprises more than 3-point-something million people. In terms of contributions to the exchequer and money that we contribute to the GDP, Nairobi constituency requires to be at the table where everything is being distributed. The idea that you can put 17 constituencies in one single place called Nyayo Stadium is an opportunity for people to give the opportunities that are supposed to accrue to Nairobi to other people. I have heard the chair speak to the question of this decentralization would occasion additional budgetary implication. If that be the case, the Constitution itself has no limit to the amount of money that should be put in order to see implementation. Article 10 of the Constitution, and this is my final point, is one of the foundational principles under this Constitution. Nairobi demands equity. Nairobi demands to be at the table. This is the capital city, and we represent the people of these 17 constituencies. We request that you give a ruling that this CS comes before us and tells us how we can be able to get our people recruited at the sub-county level, the same way that all the 290 constituencies get. Nairobi cannot be disfranchised like this. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, last, I'll give the Honorable Member for Starehe, Honorable Amos Mwago, and just keep it to 1.5 minutes, kindly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, because for giving me this opportunity to weigh in on this debate about the recruitment by different government agencies and institutions. Nairobi has become disenfranchised because even when they come to the recruitment, they want to look at the back of the ID and tell the persons who are being recruited to look at the back of the IDs. And you know too well, Madam Speaker, that there's nobody who was born in Nairobi. Most people have come from up country, and it's only us, the MPs, who know our registered voters. We have the biggest number of registered voters in this country. Nairobi County accounts for 11% of the registered voters in this country. But when it comes to opportunities and these recruitments, we are left to be combined in a common area, whereas our population is so big. So we're asking, now that the government has said that 80% of recruitment for KDF soldiers and other the police will come from people who have gone through NYS. We just ask, it's only fair that Nairobi is given an equal opportunity when it comes to these recruitments, and they happen at the sub-county levels. For example, Starehe, I have 189,000 registered voters, and so many youths languishing in poverty in the informal settlements. If they are not given these opportunities, they don't have a chance in life to make their life better. We have the highest number of people who have not gone to school, and these people depend on these government jobs, and it is only fair that Nairobi be considered. Even in matters of population, they be given more opportunities and more slots in these recruitments. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I submit.
Honorable Chairperson, I will just give you 2 minutes to respond or clarify.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as the norm of this House, when a question is asked at the floor of the House, the committee usually writes. Madam Speaker, if now we can invite the Honorable Cabinet Secretary and invite the Honorable members to a meeting so that they can be able, if they are not satisfactory with the answer that I have read at the floor of the House, so that he can come and answer to them directly and we invite them to our committee. That is my suggestion, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. It's so noted. Next is a response by the Honorable Sirma, Chairperson for the National Government Constituent Development Fund. You're responding to the question by the Honorable Member for Soy.
There's a problem, sound problem. Madam Speaker, Standing Order 44C of the National Assembly provides for any member to request for the statement from a committee chairperson relating to matters under the mandate of the committee. In line with that, Honorable David Kiplagat had requested for a statement from the chairperson.
Honorable members, just try and be silent. It seems like we have a problem with the sound system.
Yes. From the chairperson, National Government Constituency Development Fund, regarding the management of fund account managers by NGCDF board. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the above and in response to the statement requested, the National Government Constituency Development Fund board responded to the statement of Honorable Kiplagat as follows: that the National Government Constituency Development Fund board is established under section 14, 15 and 16 of the NGCDF Act 2015 as amended in 2023 as a body corporate under the Cabinet Secretary, for the time being responsible for matters economic planning and development. The board is charged with the responsibility of receiving projects, proposals from various constituencies, approve for funding the proposals that are in conformity with the Act, and disburse funds to the constituencies with respect to the approved project proposals, amongst other functions. Section 22(1) of the Act provides that the board shall appoint such officers and other staff as are necessary for the proper management of the fund and discharge of its functions under this Act, upon such terms and conditions of service as it may determine. Further, Section 12(3) provides that the fund account manager shall hold authority to incur expenditure of the funds at the constituency account. The approved staff establishment of the board provides for 297 positions of field operations officers, FOO, who are either deployed to the headquarters or the constituencies as fund account managers. Honorable Speaker, on the matter of constituencies, on the number of constituencies that do not have substantive fund.
Honorable Member for Soy, what's your...
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yes,
I can barely hear the chair for NGCDF. Neither do I have a copy of that statement. Can they avail the copy of that statement so that if the chair is not audible, I can be able to follow? Otherwise, I might not know what he is presenting. Thank you.
Yes, you can't if you request me, it's futile to request me for a copy. Switch off your mic. Honorable Member for Soy, it's futile for you to request me to give you a copy. You could just walk here to the clerk's table and get one. You can't hear me? I said it's futile for you to ask from your chair for a copy from me. You can walk to the clerk's table and they will avail you a copy. Did you hear that, Honorable DK?
Okay.
You may proceed, Honorable.
On the number of constituencies that do not have substantive fund account managers, and what are the reasons for that? There are currently 31 constituencies without substantive fund account managers, as summarized below. In the coastal region, Kilifi North and Lamu East, Northeastern, Garissa Township and Mandera South, Eastern, Igembe Central and Kaiti. In the North Rift, Loima, Kiminini, Nandi Hills, Mosop and Baringo South, South Rift, Keses and Bomet East, Western, South is Bomet, Central, Kuresoi South, and then in Western, Mumias West, Shinyalu, Luanda, Tongaren, Teso South. In Nyanza, we have Kisumu West, Kisumu Central, Kabondo Kasipul, Homa Bay Town, Ndhiwa, Suna West. In Nyaribari, Kitutu Chache, and in Nairobi, Embakasi South. The reason for the constituencies not having the substantive fund account managers include resignations, retirement, deaths, desertion of duty, non-renewal of contracts, and choice of some constituencies to retain acting fund account managers. Honorable Speaker, on the measures that the board has put in place to ensure proper operations and deployment of the constituencies that do not have substantive fund account managers, in a situation where a constituency does not have a substantive fund account manager, the board assigns an officer serving in a nearby constituency to work as acting fund account manager in the constituency without one. This ensures continuation of services in the constituency with the deficit pending deployment of a substantive fund account manager. Meanwhile, the board is planning to conduct new recruitment to fill the existing vacancies. On the criteria used by the board to in the deployment of fund account managers in the constituency, including determining the order to be followed when deploying. In deployment of fund account managers, the board ensures that officers are not posted to their constituencies of origin based on the database maintained by the board. The board also takes into consideration the effect of deployment to the officer's family, especially for female officers. Security considerations are also a factor in deployment of officers. Honorable Speaker, on the plans to deploy fund account managers to the constituencies that do not have substantive fund account managers, the board is putting in place measures to deploy fund account managers in constituencies that do not have. These measures include expediting conclusion of disciplinary process for officers on interdiction and recruitment of new staff to fill the vacancies. Honorable Speaker, on the number of fund account managers that are currently not deployed and why, there are 23 officers not deployed to the constituencies for reasons shown below. On interdiction, 5. On suspension, 1. Deployed to head office or regional office, 16. On sick leave, 1. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, the Honorable Member for Soy, Honorable David Kiplagat.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. At least now I've gotten the statement, otherwise it wasn't audible. I really want to thank the chair for MGCDF for trying to bring this statement to the House, despite the inadequacy in terms of addressing the real issues. The real issues, Chair, looking at your statement alone, there are about 31 constituencies without substantive fund managers. And looking at the record of where they are, we have 5 on interdiction, 1 on suspension, 16 are being deployed to the head office or regional offices, while 1 is on sick leave. Honorable Madam Speaker, we need to get serious. One of the core developments that is happening in this country is through the CDF. And the management of CDF through the board needs to be above board. They need to make sure that our constituencies, the NGCDF, are working. But you can see the level of incompetence that is being shown by the board. We have a board, Honorable Speaker, that based on the budget, we know very well the NGCDF budget has been increasing. For the last 2 years alone, it has risen from 35 billion, and in the coming financial year, it will be around 60 billion. And there is on the act, they are supposed to get 5%. So you can get, they are supposed to get 5% to run the administrative affairs. So you can see the budget of the board in the last 2 years has doubled. But I can tell you, Honorable Madam Speaker, their services is so wanting. They have not increased, they have not expanded, neither have they made that their service is up to par. What I want to say is that by the time you have 31 constituencies without substantive fund managers, and you have fund managers on suspension, you have fund managers on interdiction, you have fund managers around 16 that have been recalled to the head office because they cannot perform their duties, and we have a board that we are appropriating as much as 3 billion so that they can be able to run our constituencies very well. I dare say, and I put a proposal so that we can amend the act, because the money has been increasing. Now you cannot find anybody in those board offices. You can only find them in conferences in Naivasha. You can only find them in conferences in Mombasa. The CEO of the board is not picking any call from the honorable member. So your problems, you remain with your problems until eternity, and it is time this house we step up and make sure that we have a board that is responsive to the needs of the constituencies, that is responsive to the needs of the members. So I call upon this house that we need to relook, even when it comes to the management of those funds. We need to make sure at least we have competent fund managers that have been hired so that they can be able to offer service delivery to our constituencies. Otherwise, I dare say that this report that has come is just sugarcoating. Our problems in the constituencies have not been addressed, and if we are paying a lot of money and we have increased the budget.
Thank you. Now we'll go to the next statement. Chairperson, okay, I'll give you a minute, Honorable Makali, because we need to make progress on this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Speaker, I've been very keen listening to the statistics being provided by the chair. And while the statistics make a lot of sense in terms of where we are, I think there are about two fundamental questions which I think the chair of that committee needs to ask himself. In a situation where a constituency is sharing a fund manager with another one, how effective can that manager be? That's the first question. In a situation where the board, the NGCDF board members, and I think it's very clear the members are no longer addressing what is happening on the ground. They are interested in making money which is there for the administrative purposes. I think, Honorable Speaker, the chairperson of the select committee needs to do much more than he is doing to help members implement projects. We are patrons, but when things don't work, what it means is that at the end of the day, it's the patron who is being blamed. So you find the fund managers earning their salaries.
Now, the chairperson for agriculture, you also have a response. Honorable Mutunga. Just one moment. What's your point of order, Honorable Nikal?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As you are aware and you have severely indicated to me, I had a motion of adjournment and the time should have actually been.
I will get to you, Honorable Nikal, you're on my schedule. Because now we are at statements. I will allow you at statements. Honorable Nikal, we are just completing with the responses to questions asked previously. And so we're going to have the chairperson for agriculture to respond. After that, I will go, if you look at your order paper, I will go to the statements, and the first statement is on KWS, the second statement will be on Sunuka airstrip, and the third one will be from Honorable Kainan, and thereafter, Honorable Member for Mwea, then yourself. So you're on the schedule, Honorable Nikal. Thank you. You may proceed, Chairperson for Agriculture.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, pursuant to the standing order number 44-2C, the Honourable David Kiplagat MP requested for a statement on 7th of March 2024 regarding the distribution of subsidized fertilizers to farmers. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock Development responded as follows to the issues raised in the statement. The first issue was what is the quantity of subsidized fertilizers stocked in National Cereals and Produce Board across the country vis-a-vis the targeted number of farmers and acreage of land. Honourable Speaker, the response from the Ministry reads as follows: that the government plans to procure 12.5 million bags of fertilizer. The quantity of subsidized fertilizer stocked in NCPB depots across the country for the long rain season is 7.5 million bags. Currently, 4 million bags are being distributed to the farmers. The second issue that the farmers in the North Rift vouchers to purchase fertilizer from retailers at a subsidized price of 2,500 shillings per bag in the event of shortage of the subsidized fertilizers at the NCPB depots. The Ministry stating that the e-voucher cannot be used to purchase fertilizer from retailers. The government has put in place mechanism to ensure that there will be no shortage of fertilizer at the NCPB depots. Honourable Speaker, the response goes further to say that NCPB has set up last mile redemption selling centers close to the farmers in collaboration with the county governments to improve access. NCPB has sold 330,650 bags of 50 kilograms for the long rains in the North Rift region. The third issue that he raised was what mechanism has the ministry put in place to ensure that farmers in the North Rift receive subsidized fertilizers in the next 1 week before the planting season begins. Honourable Speaker, I hereby respond that NCPB has put in place a distribution plan in conjunction with all contractors and suppliers to ensure that the required subsidized fertilizer reaches all the depots and last mile centers in time before the planting season begins. The fertilizer distribution schedule started on 11th of March 2024 and we have a table, Honourable Speaker, which basically shows that who was in issue. The first week was given 63,800 bags. Second week, 59,600. Third week for 6,400. Fourth week for 6,400, and total is 215, 200 bags. Kitale was got on the first week 12,000 bags. Second week 16,000, third week 12,000, fourth week 10,000, and total is 50,000. Kapenguria got 8,000 first week, 10,000 second week, 6,000 third week, and 6,000 fourth week, totaling to 30,000 bags. The Elgeyo Marakwet got 4,200 bags the first week, second week 3,000, third week 1,800, fourth week 1,200, and the total is 10,200. Honorable Speaker, for the entire region, North Rift, got the first week 87,000, second week 88,600, third week 66,200, the fourth week 63,200, and the total for the 4 weeks is 305,400. The fourth issue was what modalities has the ministry put in place to enhance the effectiveness of the e-voucher system in order to minimize the long queues at the depots. The ministry has put in place the following modalities to ensure effectiveness of the e-voucher system. A, timely release of both planting and top dressing e-voucher to all registered farmers for all the value chains. B, the e-voucher issued to farmers have no restrictive expiry dates. C, all countries with the registered farmers will be supplied with the required subsidized fertilizers. And D, identifying last mile centers to be named by NCPB and county governments at one level to improve access to all farmers. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I submit.
Thank you. You want to say something about it, Honorable DK?
Honorable
He's a
Madam
requester.
Speaker.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a right of response
I
by that
understand,
net.
yes.
It's only that maybe today all my statement came at once, so, and I wish I had contributed on the other one. I was not able to finish my, anyway, I'll
Putting
contribute
into your
another.
minute, so you better proceed.
Okay. Madam Speaker, I want to take, at this point, I want to thank the Chair for Agriculture for that comprehensive statement in terms of distribution. When I was seeking for the statement then, the farmers had a lot of difficulty in terms of accessing subsidized fertilizer, but things on the ground have really improved now, and farmers are able to access. So at least the pressure has gone down. Maybe in future, what I want to urge the ministry is to make sure that at least, given that these periods in which farmers expect to have fertilizer are known, they need to work on their procurement so that by December, January, the farmers are able to access the subsidized fertilizer, both in terms of the planting fertilizer and the top dressing fertilizer, so that we don't witness these long queues when the rain starts and it gets us off guard. Lastly, we know there is the issue that is affecting the fertilizer in general, that is the fake fertilizer, which the committee is now looking at it. Once that report is in this house, I think we shall say more on behalf of the farmers of the North Rift. Otherwise, I really want to thank the Chair for that statement, and I want to assure the House that at least the pressure has gone down. Thank you.
Thank you. I think now we can go to questions, and we have a question by the member for Tiati, the Honorable William Kanket.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the forthcoming recruitment of Kenya Wildlife Service Rangers. Honorable Speaker, on the 19th of March 2024, the Kenya Wildlife Service advertised vacancies for assistant warders and rangers to be stationed in conservation areas across the country. This recruitment initiative aims to address the pressing wildlife protection challenges facing our nation. As per the advert, Madam Speaker, the recruitment process shall be conducted at the county level. Honorable Speaker, while commendable, it is crucial to acknowledge that many applicants may currently be unemployed and hence facing financial challenges that could present logistical problems for numerous of them who must travel to the designated recruitment centers. It is against this background, Honorable Speaker, that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. Number one, could the chairperson state the reasons of conducting recruitments of the KWS Rangers at the county level as opposed to the sub-county level, which will help alleviate travel costs for the potential recruits? Two, could the chairperson, Madam Speaker, address as to whether there is a possibility of relocating the recruitment venues to the sub-county level? Honorable Speaker, I want to plead with you that this is the only route that was available to me to request this very urgent, or to speak on this very urgent matter. I'll be asking you, Honorable Speaker, to take it within you and possibly make a ruling because of the urgency of this matter, to ask the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife to urgently reconsider the matter of recruitment of KWS officers or rangers and wardens, so they are able to be recruited, Madam Speaker, at the sub-county level to address the issues I've raised of transportation and the potential marginalization of those recruits, because the current...
Honorable Kamket, you have now moved from making a statement to debating your statement. And the honorable member, the honorable chairperson for tourism is here, and so the matter will be referred to him, your statement will be referred to him, and then you'll be able at that time to respond to him. But you're debating it at the moment. Yes, you can say one word here.
Madam Speaker, I understand. I am...
Majority Leader, I'll give you a chance.
I understand, Madam Speaker. The problem is this. This is an extremely urgent matter, given that recruitment begins next week, and I am seeking a consequential ruling from you, Madam Speaker, that this matter, I had only to go this route because I had no other route. But I'm asking, Madam Speaker, because given the urgency of this matter, could you kindly just ask that this matter either be postponed and pushed to sub-county level because of the urgency, because it begins next week. Yes, and the current county level recruitment is anti-hustler, is anti-people, is anti the youth who are not able to travel the long distances to the county level. That's all I'm asking, Madam Speaker.
Yes. Actually, you make a very good point, Honorable Kamket, but I think if you want a shorter route, because it's urgent, then you can, we've referred it to the Tourism and Wildlife Committee. You can seek that they summon the Minister or the PS, and then you can be able to attend it and then deal with it there. It's the quickest one. Okay. Thank you. Yes. You can give him the mic.
Yes, Madam Speaker, could you make that ruling that the Cabinet Secretary be summoned tomorrow? Tomorrow, because the recruitment begins on Monday next week, Madam Speaker. That's all I'm pleading with you, Madam Speaker.
I will just seek. I'm not the chairperson of the Tourism Committee and don't have powers to summon the minister, but I can direct that chairperson does summon the minister to be able to explain. And you can also use your lobbying skills with your colleagues to ensure that you can do it. I'll give you, what's your point of order, Minority Leader?
Actually, the Honorable Speaker, I can see the dilemma in which you find yourself. I can see the dilemma in which you find yourself concerning this matter that has been raised by Honorable Kamket. It is indeed a very weighty matter, and it calls for some unique intervention. I don't know which one. Honorable Speaker, you know, as a House, we don't want to be seen to be micromanaging the executive. how I wish the leader majority would listen to me. The matter that has been raised by the Honorable Kamket, it requires some unique intervention. Because as you know, Honorable Speaker, the recruitment is starting next week. And if it is left the way it is, then young Kenyan children, young Kenyan youth are going to be required to walk or travel long distances to the county headquarters. I'm imagining, Honorable Speaker, a county like Marsabit. Is it Marsabit? Yes. Marsabit. You expect somebody to come from Moyale at the border with Ethiopia to travel to Marsabit town to participate in an exercise of the recruitment of the KWS Rangers. Honorable Speaker, that is one sure way of disenfranchising Kenyan youth. I think something extraordinary can be done even at this late hour. And Honorable Kamket, I support your position. To decentralize this exercise to the sub-counties, to the constituencies, then it can be suspended. Because the world is not ending tomorrow, the world is not ending today. We can suspend it and have it done in a manner that meets the expectations of Kenyans, majority of whom I know actually support equity, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. But I think, again, I'll say, I think the quickest way is to actually get the minister summoned to the Committee on Tourism. But Majority Leader, you have a point of order?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this statement by the Honorable Kamket. Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true that punishing unemployed young Kenyans to travel long distances to their county headquarters should be a thing we should not be doing at this particular time, Honorable Speaker. And I want to support that recruitment, just like we do with the police, like we do with the military, even KWS should be recruited at the sub-county level. Honorable Speaker, you should also note that members of parliament do not operate at the county level. And it is members of parliament who are supposed to oversight all these national government activities, including such recruitment. It is possible, Speaker, they have devised a way of recruiting at the county level to run away from proper oversight. Because when you recruit at the sub-county level, that is almost at the constituency level, except for a few constituencies that have 2 or 3 sub-counties. But members of parliament are able to ascertain whether the people being recruited are actually from that sub-county and that constituency. And therefore, I want to support, Honorable Speaker, and request the chair of the Tourism Committee, the Honorable Karek Mbuki, to cause the minister to appear before the committee and give us an answer probably latest by next week. Because if we leave it, then the recruitment will continue and Kenyans will start disenfranchised if the recruitment continues as it is, Honorable Speaker. I have been to Tiati, Honorable Speaker. If you go to Tiati, what the Honorable Kamket is fond of referring as to East Pokot County. Tiati by itself is bigger than Kiambu County as a whole. So if you're asking the people of Tiati to travel from Tiati to Kabarnet, Honorable Speaker, in this era of banditry, you are subjecting these young men and women. Honorable Speaker, protect me from the Honorable Jamatia. There is no community, Honorable Jamatia, that are bandits. Bandits are criminals who should be seen as criminals. And Honorable Speaker, I was saying we should not subject young people from moving across the length and breadth of their counties in search of employment. And I really want to plead with the Ministry of Tourism and KWS to reconsider and recruit at the sub-county level. I know the numbers may not be many at the sub-county level, but it is okay. You would rather recruit 3 or 4 people from each sub-county than going to recruit 100 from a county level, at the county level, Honorable Speaker. And I really want to support and request the chair. I don't know if the chair is in the house. That they table a statement latest next week, Thursday. It's going on already.
Honorable Jeanette, what's your point of order?
Madam Speaker, you know what is creating this, Madam Speaker, what is creating this confusion is that people never used to take serious employment in KWS. Even previous, is because of the high rate of unemployment that people now are taking it very serious. Before that...
Honorable members, just be quiet. I'm trying to hear what Honorable Junet is saying.
Last year, they did recruitment. I mean, 2 years ago, they did recruitment and they did the same way. But now, because of high rate of employment, people are taking it more serious. That's why they want more involvement, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the question I want to ask, and I think the majority leader could help us in this, if the recruitment is starting on Monday, and today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday, and the second day is Saturday and Sunday, how will this recruitment be stopped today unless you know, only the majority leader can sort this one. If you can get us an executive order to stop the recruitment. Otherwise, everything is set, Madam Speaker. I'm sure by now, people who are doing recruitments are already in the field, preparing for the recruitment. So I think if maybe the tourism committee can sit tomorrow and call the minister and agree with him on a position, and then from there implement that position, and maybe do extend the time for recruitment or something like that. But as of now, it is fait accompli, Madam Speaker. There is nothing that can be done, in my view.
Honorable KJ, you had spoken to this matter before, so let's go to the Honorable Member for Embakasi South, Julius Mwathe, but it's actually the same argument, because I know that your issue was also about recruitment and that it was being done in Nairobi County in one place at Nyayo Stadium. So it is the same argument. So let's give another member from Nairobi who wasn't there to say something. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we as the Nairobi members of Parliament, representing more than approximately 2.8 million voters and over 5 million residents at night and over 6 million during the day. This recruitment is done at sub-counties and it's supposed to be done at the constituency level. In the other areas, it's done at the sub-county. But here in Nairobi, it's only done at Nyayo Stadium. Nyayo Stadium, there is no recruitment that takes place. It's just filling in of the names that the recruiters came with. Be it the police and the other, I don't want to mention. But this recruitment should be done at the constituency level so that the members, the residents of Embakasi South, approximately 580,000 people, can have an opportunity to be recruited. We don't want a sub-county. A sub-county in Nairobi would mean that Embakasi East, Embakasi Central, and Embakasi South, we share one sub-county with more than 1 million residents. So the best place for this, we are humbly requesting you that the Speaker rules that the recruitment be done at the representation level, and the representation level at the national level is the Constitution. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, and I can see that the Honorable Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife, Honorable Kawanjiko, member for Kiambaa, is here and is not listening. Honorable Vice Chairperson, you've heard the sentiments of members.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
No, you don't. I'm just giving you directions. I'm giving you directions, Honorable, just because your chairperson is not here, so that you can ensure that your committee summons the minister as soon as possible. The letters can go out as early as Monday. Then they can be able to know that there's a crisis with the recruitment. So, and summon the minister so that, because they said this matter is urgent. So you're here to take those instructions on behalf of your chair. Thank you.
Make a comment.
Okay, honorable members, let us now go to the next statement. The statement by Honorable Onchoke, member for Bonchari.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44, paragraph 2, paragraph C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the status of the Suneka airstrip. Honorable Speaker, Suneka airstrip was established during the British colonial administration and stands as a testament to Bonchari's rich history and heritage. Over the decades, it has undergone several phases of development, notably its expansion in 1978 and subsequent renovation efforts in the financial years 2018, 2019, and 2022-2023. The airstrip received its first phase of upgrading, which involved the construction of a perimeter wall, parking and administration block, and a passenger lounge. In the year 2022, the government announced plans to expand the airstrip runway to accommodate bigger airplanes and aircrafts. However, despite these significant investments by government, the Suneka airstrip is in a state of disrepair. The runway lies dilapidated, and the once promising facility now sits largely abandoned. Honorable Speaker, the unfortunate state of affairs not only undermines the Suneka airstrip's historical significance, but also jeopardizes its economic potential for this region. Urgent action is therefore warranted to rectify its current state of neglect and restore it to its rightful position as a vibrant hub of activity and opportunity. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1. What are the underlying reasons for the prolonged delay in completing the renovation and rehabilitation works despite the allocation of substantial funds? 2. What plans has the ministry put in place for the resumption and completion of the critical infrastructure projects at the Suneka airstrip? And 3, could the chairperson provide strategies and mechanisms aimed at ensuring that sustainable maintenance and efficient operation of the airstrip to safeguard its future viability? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairman, Transport Committee, is the chair in the House? In the absence of the chair, the Vice Chair? Vice Chair, Transport? Leader of Majority, kindly respond to that statement.
Who is the chair? But GK was here. Honorable Speaker, I don't know where the chair transport has gone to, because the last time I checked he was seated somewhere here. But I will relay that information to him, and he can advise the House on Tuesday when he can bring a good answer.
So make sure that you're in the House on Tuesday, as a decision on when the statement will be brought will be made. Honorable members, the next is the member for Aldas, the Honorable Keinan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of a prominent elder from my constituency called Omar Mohammed Noor, nicknamed Omar the Fox. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Omar Mohammed Noor of ID number 210-7537 is a businessman who hails from my constituency Eldas, Wajir County, and operates businesses in Marsabit and Wajir County. He was reported missing on 23rd March 2024 under OP number 13/30/324 at Marsabit Police Station. Madam Speaker, efforts by his family to establish his whereabouts have borne no fruit. This has subjected his family to mental anguish and uncertainty regarding his well-being. Honorable Speaker, Article 29 of the Constitution provides for the right of every person to freedom and security. Madam Speaker, this includes the right not to be deprived of freedom without just cause, and the right not to be detained without trial, because this is illegal. It's against this background, Madam Speaker, that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. One, what is the status of investigation into the disappearance of Mr. Omar Mohammed Noor, alias Omar the Fox, who is a very prominent elder who comes from my constituency? Two, could the chairperson outline the measures put in place by the ministry to ensure that Omar Mohammed Noor is reunited with his family? Three, what measures have been taken by the government to ensure the safety of the businessmen operating in this country? Madam Speaker, I've been in touch with security operators both in Marsabit and Wajir, and Madam Speaker, the information coming out is disjointed, Madam Speaker, and doesn't give any direction on the whereabouts of this particular businessman. Madam Speaker, through the chair, we want the whereabouts, because the era of arbitrary arrest is gone, as we have been promised. The era of kidnapping is gone, Madam Speaker. The era of illegal detention is gone. And I want to request the chair, as a matter of urgency, because this is a matter that is so important to us, that he helps us find the whereabouts of this prominent businessman. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kenan. Chair Security, the Vice Chair, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Raso, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, what Honorable Kenan has raised, the issue of people disappearing is slowly coming back. And for all intent and purposes, I thought we buried that with the last government. The idea of Kenyans disappearing, when there are law courts, when there are law enforcers, if anybody is believed to be involved in crime, they must have their day in court. For that reason, Madam Speaker, you give us 2 weeks. We'll speak to the ministry to be able to respond in 2 weeks. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. 2 weeks, Honorable Kenan. I believe that is quite in order, Honorable Kenan.
Madam Speaker, we are talking about the arbitrary arrest, disappearance, and my good friend, the Honorable Raso, a distinguished member and our patron, I thought will be the first person to say that he will submit this report within the shortest time possible. So I want to believe with him. 2 weeks is such a long time, because we do not know whether this person is dead. Madam Speaker, if there is an issue of criminal in nature, the law requires that first investigations be conducted, the persons be arrested, arraigned in court, and subjected to the criminal justice system. Madam Speaker, just like he has alluded, I thought some of these things were gone with the past regimes. So I want to believe with my patron here. 2 weeks is such a long time. Can you give us an answer by Tuesday so that we know whether this person is alive or not? Can we have the answer tomorrow or latest Tuesday?
Honorable members, I see several interventions, but I do not want to encourage debate on this. I would like to ask the Vice Chair, based on the sensitivity of the matter, before I go to you, I'll give a chance to the Honorable Jeanette. 1 minute, Honorable
Honorable Speaker, I'm shocked that the Vice Chair can say 2 weeks. Madam Chair, I want him to put himself in the shoes of the family that have lost that businessman. The status, the situation as of today, Madam Speaker, they are suffering, they are in agony, they are in They don't know whether their person is alive or dead, Madam Speaker. And this is, we have been told extrajudicial killings are over, those things will never happen again. Can you produce that man dead or alive tomorrow? Tomorrow, not even 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Tomorrow morning, that man, their family should get the body or they should get the person.
Honorable members, a statement that has been sought obviously has timelines, but I would like to go back to the Vice Chair based on the sensitivity of the matter as has been elaborated by the member for the Honorable Keinan and also has supported by the Honorable Junet. Can you please respond on when is the shortest or the nearest that you can give us a response to this?
Thank you very
Honorable
much.
members, please let's give an opportunity to the member for SACU and the Vice Chair to respond.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I believe Honorable Keinan is loud and clear. I think Kenya is governed by the rule of law. And we must work within the rules of the possible. And I think you give us 7 days as a committee to be able to push the ministry to be able to give us a response. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, I think we put that to rest, 7 days. Thank you. Well, the next statement is by the member from where? Please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the irregular maintenance of the drainage systems on farm roads and canals that has caused flooding in Mwea irrigation scheme and the surrounding areas. Honorable Speaker, following the Thursday, 4th April 2024 overnight downpour in Mwea constituency, about 15 households were severely 100 people have been left homeless. Additionally, many homes and businesses have been submerged in water and acres of crops destroyed. Honorable Speaker, while some families have sought alternative and safe areas to settle, there still exists risk to members of the public, notably the National Irrigation Authority under the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation has not adequately addressed the issue of proper maintenance of water canals used to transport water for irrigation and on-farm roads in the rice fields. The desiltation of canals has also not been undertaken for a long time, leading to blockage and floods. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following matters. Number one, what measures has the ministry put in place to ensure that the families affected by the flooding in Mwea are assisted? Number two, what regulatory framework has the government put in place to ensure that desiltation is undertaken regularly and that there is regular maintenance of water canals and on-farm roads? Number three, what emergency response measures has the ministry adopted to address flood-related challenges in Mwea constituency? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, member from Mwea. Chairman, Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. Is the chairman in the house? Vice Chair? Okay, in the absence of the chair and the vice chair, I will then direct this to the majority leader. Majority leader, kindly.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will relay that to the chair in charge of blue economy, the Honorable Kangogo. He was here and left. You know, Honorable Speaker, today, immediately after the Eid holiday, I think many members got into the holiday mood. That is why you see our numbers are not very pleasing this afternoon. But I will make sure that the chair, the Honorable Kangogo, gives a statement, an answer to that statement by the member from where in the course of next week. And indeed, I want to agree with the member from where. And I saw the suffering that the people of Mwea are going through on TV the other day. And on engagement, Honorable Speaker, I was able to gather that the National Irrigation Authority, NIA, are not desilting the canals that should be taking water from the dam and even containing some of the flood waters, and that is why the water is ravaging the villages where people are living. Honorable Speaker, it is sad that when it's raining like now, instead of harnessing the resources we have in terms of water resources to get into the dams, the bar that was commissioned recently, by just desilting, Honorable Speaker, and taking care of the road infrastructure in Mwea, Honorable Speaker, I will endeavor to get the chair to answer, but I also support that request for the statement by the Honorable Member for Mwea. Because indeed the people of Mwea are suffering and they have suffered for a long time, and we must do all that we can to help them. And congratulate the member from Mwea for being very sensitive to our people. When I saw it on TV, I didn't even know she was going to bring a statement. That tells you the people of Mwea never made a mistake in electing a leader who bears their burdens and is able to bring issues that are of concern to them to the light before the House, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Very much. Majority Leader, in addition to the kind words that you have spoken about the member from Mwea, I suggest that you put together with the statement which was sought from the Chair Transport, so that both of them will get a response on when the statements will be responded to on Tuesday. Thank you very much. Honorable members, now we go to the weekly statement by the Majority Leader. Chair Finance. Honorable members, before we go to the Majority Leader, we'll have the Chair Finance. You may proceed, Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise standing order 127 to give a progress report on business before the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, the 21st of March 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order 44-2C, the following honorable members sought for response from the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning as follows. 1. The Honorable CPA Irene Mayaka MP regarding financial services offered by telecommunication companies through digital applications such as M-Pesa's digital loan products, Fuliza, M-Shwari, Air Wallet, and Tcash. 2. The Honorable Joseph Munyoro MP regarding the outcry of boda operators regarding the alleged exploitative lending practices by asset financing entities operating in the country under the Buy Now, Pay Back Later BNPL model. And 3, the Honorable Geoffrey Rocco MP regarding the incentives claimed by special economic zones, developers, operators, and enterprises in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, in committee of these statements and noting the magnitude of the issues raised by the 3 honorable members, you did direct that the committee would elect and undertake an in-depth inquiry into the key matter in the statement. Honorable Speaker, in line with your direction and to facilitate a comprehensive inquiry, the Departmental Committee is placing an advert in the daily newspapers and other media outlets requesting views and presentations from the public on the key issues highlighted in the statements. The advert is expected to run this week. Honorable Speaker, additionally, I wish to inform the House that the Departmental Committee has already held preliminary engagements with the Governor, the Central Bank of Kenya, being among the regulatory entities in question. However, the committee has not been able to meet the National Treasury owing to the fact that the leadership of the National Treasury has been held up with the IMF mission review sessions that have been ongoing for the last 2 weeks, and they are rescheduled to participate in the upcoming annual World Bank IMF meeting set to be held between the 13th and the 23rd of April 2024 in Washington, D.C. Honorable Speaker, It is against this background that the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning is seeking leave from the House to request more time to consider and respond to the above-mentioned statements through the committee inquiries. Honorable Speaker, I have taken the initiative to also consult the three honorable members, that is CPA Mayaka, Honorable Munyoro, and Honorable Roko, on this matter, and the Departmental Committee commits to report back to the House with a comprehensive report on the statement within the next 30 days, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the three matters sought are very, very key matters, and the Departmental Committee is taking it seriously. That is why we are seeking for an extension of a further 30 days, Honorable Speaker. On a light note, these inquiries are serious, and they cannot be resolved by snipping, like I saw the Honorable Senator snipping fertilizer to check its credibility. It requires serious meetings, serious deliberations among all the stakeholders, and therefore that's why we are asking for a further 30 days to provide a comprehensive settlement to the three honorable members and to this honorable House. With that, I beg to submit, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, I was waiting so that you can request. How much more time do you need?
Honorable Speaker, we request for 30 more days to lay the three comprehensive statements.
30 days?
Yes, the Honorable Speaker, the Speaker requested that it may be an inquiry rather than a statement, and therefore, from to the banks, to Central Bank of Kenya, to National Treasury, 30 days will be sufficient.
If it is an inquiry, this being an inquiry, then you deserve the 30 days. So you will have 30 days so that you can respond to all those issues. Honorable members, now let us proceed to the Majority Leader's statement. Majority Leader, it's your time.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker, I was consulting with the Honorable Junet, you know, is a very good leader from the minority. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 9th April 2024, to prioritize the business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to officially welcome members back from the short recess, and I encourage you all to remain dedicated and focused as we continue in what promises to be a busy part of the session. I further urge committees with priority business pending before them to expedite all the business was to enable its conclusion by the House within the next few weeks. Honorable Speaker, it's important for members to note that this session will be quite short, considering we are already done with the first week that had a break yesterday, and 1st of May also falls in the course of the week. And therefore, with 3 weeks, we have very few sittings remaining. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, with regard to business for the next week, the House will continue debate on the second reading of the following bills, should they not be concluded today: the National Land Commission Amendment Bill of 2023, the County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2022, the Land Laws Amendment Bill, Bill number 2 of 2023, and the Independent Election Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill of 2024. Additionally, debate will also be undertaken on the following motions, some of which are listed in today's order paper should they not be concluded. 1, reports of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituency Development Fund for the 5 constituencies in Vihiga County. 2, reports of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituency Development Fund for 9 counties in Bungoma County. 3, consideration of nominees for appointment to various diplomatic offices. 4, reports on defense, intelligence, and foreign relations on its consideration of the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation. 5, report of the Public Petitions Committee on its consideration of the public petition on funds spent contrary to the provisions of Article 223 of the Constitution. 6, report of the Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library on enhancing reporting of parliamentary business on online platforms. 7, report of the Committee on Regional Integration on its inspection to the semi-autonomous institution of the East African Community in Uganda. 8, report of the Committee on Implementation on the implementation status of reports on petitions and resolutions passed by the House. And 9, report of the Trade, Industry and Cooperatives Committee on its consideration of the alleged unfair trade practices by foreign investors in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provision of Standing Order 42A, 5, and 6, I wish to convey that the Cabinet Secretary for Health is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 17th April 2024, to respond to the following questions. Question number question number 9 of 2024 by the member for Westlands, Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, CBS MP, regarding the delay in posting of medical interns and implementation of the collective bargaining agreement signed in 2017 between the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists, and Dentists Union and the Government of Kenya. Question number 020 of 2024 by the member for Ruiru, the Honorable Simon Kingara MP, regarding the imposition of high deposits by the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, KUTRH, before attending to patients. 3 is question number 21 of 2024 by the member for Baringo Central, Honorable Joshua Kandie MP, regarding details of all the community health promoters in all the 290 constituencies in the country. 4 is question number 086 of 2024 by the member for Nyeri Town, Honorable Duncan Madenge MP, regarding the factors used to determine the amount of money a non-salaried Kenyan citizen ought to pay to the Social Health Insurance Fund. 5 is question number 087 of 2024 by the member for Nairobi County, Honorable Esther Passaris MP, regarding the measures taken by the government to equip hospitals to test and treat Helicobacter pylori. And 6 is question number 088 of 2024 by the member for Nairobi County, Honorable Esther Passaris MP, regarding measures taken by the government to provide surgical operations and medication for patients suffering from fistula. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 16th April 2024 to schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. Honorable members, this afternoon, seated in the Speaker's Gallery, we have University of Nairobi Students Association from Starehe constituency, Nairobi County, and Wamba Christian Catholic Missionary CCM Junior School from Samburu East constituency, Samburu County. You are welcome to the National Assembly. I would like to give a chance to the Chair Agriculture to lay a paper. Before we come to you, can you please allow me to...
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 11th of April 2024, report of the Departmental Committee on the Agriculture and Livestock on its consideration of the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Honourable Njikal.
Madam
You are on
Speaker.
a point of order, yes.
Madam Speaker, I had a motion of adjournment which I was told was approved by the Deputy Speaker, which he came here at the time that the notices of motion passed. I drew her attention to it. She said she'll come back to it. She missed it. And then later on, she's giving me something on the floor here, which has nothing. I want to know exactly what is the state of my intended motion of adjournment.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Njikal. Honorable Njikal, I have the brief that the matter that you are raising is already active before the Petitions Committee of the House. And this week on Tuesday, the Vice Chair gave an update on the same subject. And I am sure that you are listening to the Majority Leader as he gave the statement for next week. So on Wednesday, the Cabinet Secretary Health is scheduled to appear in the House, and you will get an opportunity to prosecute that matter in the floor of the House. So that is the brief that I have. I would like to give the first opportunity, obviously, to Dr. Njikal.
Madam Speaker, that is not proper. First of all, it's not in order. This matter is not procedural. This matter should have been raised at the time that there was notices of motion, even if there was a change. But the worst bit is that I had actually been informed that it was approved. The Deputy Speaker here told me she had approved it and that considerations came. What are these considerations that are coming after something has been approved? Those considerations should have come before. And if, as you are saying, that this matter is going to be discussed again on Wednesday when the Minister comes for health, this just helps to inform the Minister what the Kenyans want. My motion was to discuss an adjournment to discuss the health workers' strike. And whatever we would have said here would have been of help to the Minister when she was coming to answer. Why is it being found necessary after it has been approved that it should be kept? Now, if you say this is before petition, it is still more useful because the members who are going to be in the petition committee will then have been informed of what the MP, the members of parliament think, and that will be part of their consideration. This is a matter of national crisis. It's a matter of national importance. The whole country is asking, where is Parliament? And we are giving Parliament an opportunity to state what they should state. We are stuck with the issue of calling interns students and therefore not even thinking of a way out. The government doesn't have to always pay the interns. There are ways it can be done. In 2000, we only had 8 places taking students. We opened up. It's not only the ministry that is actually employing medical interns. The private hospitals, Aga Khan is employing them, Aga Khan is paying them. Kijabe is employing them, Kijabe is paying them. Senwek is employing them, Senwek is paying them. Karen Hospital is employing them, is paying them. This thing of now creating it back, why don't we want this to be heard by the country, by even the people who are going to discuss? I think I would still want you to put it to these members. Let these members say they don't want to discuss it. I'm still asking for the adjournment. If the members don't get 20 as is required, I'll raise my hands because that is the procedure. But I cannot be gagged. Last week, was it just this week? I actually, when I was raising, the speaker actually literally cut me off. And it's the speaker who suggested that I bring this matter today. I brought it today. Why am I being gagged?
That matter, it's not on the order paper now. It's not on the order paper. I actually gave you an opportunity because you had put an intervention. And I have said that this matter is active already in the Petitions Committee, and I would like to state when it was presented. It was presented on the 7th of March 2024 by the Honorable Dr. Pukose, the Chair Health, and it is a public petition number 6 of 2024 regarding delays in posting of medical interns, absorption of UHC contract staff, conclusion of collective bargaining agreement CBAs, and recognition of agreement in the health sector in the country, and it's done on behalf of representatives of the health sector unions, societies and associations. And you can see it is exactly the same subject, and I have said that this matter is already active in Petitions Committee. So, Honorable Dr. Pukose, with all due respect, you can appear before Petitions Committee, and two, listening to the Majority Leader this afternoon. The statement that he has just tabled is that the Cabinet Secretary Health will be here on Wednesday, and the Honorable Dr. Nyikal will get an opportunity to prosecute this matter extensively. Thank you. Before we go, let's also give this side an opportunity. Yes, Chair and Justice.
Thank you very much.
You may take your seat first. You may take your seat first, Chairman. Chairman, please take your seat. The order of precedence, I'll give the Minority Leader.
Honorable
It is
Speaker,
okay.
Honorable
Please take a
Speaker,
seat.
I want us to be orderly. Honorable Speaker, with tremendous possible respect, if you go to the standing order number 33, it is so clear, and I want to read it for the avoidance of doubt, because we are not in a hurry. Any member may at any time rise in his or her place and seek leave to move the adjournment of the House for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent national importance. A member who wishes to seek leave to move the adjournment of the House shall, at least 2 hours before the commencement of the sitting, hand to the Speaker a written notification of the matter, but the Speaker shall refuse to allow the claim unless the Speaker is satisfied that the matter is definite, urgent, and of national importance, and may properly be raised on a motion of adjournment of the House. I want to stop at that point. Honorable Speaker, the only condition that would necessitate the Speaker refusing such a motion of adjournment, Honorable Speaker, is if the Speaker is not satisfied that the matter is definite, urgent, and of national importance. It doesn't include factors such as the matter is before a petition committee, before any other committee, the matter is in court, it talks of the matter only being urgent, definite, and of national importance. Secondly, from the account of Honorable Dr. Nikal, and he can't lie, he's a noble man. The Honorable Dr. Nikal is a ranking member and a person of serious credibility. He has confirmed that the Speaker herself confirmed to him not long ago that she had actually approved this motion. This is a house of records, and it's a house of norms. We can't depart from the norms of this house. And we can't, I don't want this house to be seen to be imputing improper motive on the person of the Speaker. That would be very serious. That would be very serious. But if the Speaker herself confirmed that this matter has been approved, the motion, the Deputy Speaker that is here, of course, then it follows that the matter should be allowed to proceed in the manner contemplated under the standing orders. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, to reiterate the gravity of this matter, Honorable Speaker, you know, when I sit here, I am privy to a lot of information. I am privy to a lot of information that comes to me from Kenyans of all walks of life. Honorable Speaker, as we speak, the life of the Secretary General of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, Dr. Davji Atela, is in danger. This matter is not a laughing matter. This is a very, very serious. I am on a point of order. I am on a point of order. I am on a point of order. You cannot interrupt me. Hey, stop that gentleman from making noise. Honorable Speaker, this is a matter of urgent national importance and of serious gravity. It has to be prosecuted in the manner contemplated in the standing order. Anything less than that will be total chaos.
You have made your point. You have made your point. Majority Leader? Majority Leader now? Minority Leader, thank you very much.
It's never too late. Can always review her orders. The Speaker can always review her directions. I want to plead with you to review the directions you have given and allow this motion to be prosecuted by the Honorable Dr. Nikal. Anything less than that will be tantamount to reducing the stature of this House.
Majority Leader? You've made your point, Majority Leader. Let us, Minority Leader. Let's hear the Majority Leader now.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was actually rising earlier because the Honorable Pio and I was now treading on very dangerous grounds, Honorable Speaker. Because one, when the leader of minority avers that he has information that has come to him that any Kenyan's life is in danger, the responsible thing to do first is to make sure that he reports to the police. And I don't see any police officer here that he's reporting to, and the manner in which you report to the police is not by speaking to the gallery on the floor of the House, I do hope that the Leader of Minority will walk to the DCI offices right outside Parliament, at Parliament Police Station, and report whatever information he has. Otherwise, we may use the floor of the House to make all manner of statements to speak to the gallery, Honorable Speaker. But, Honorable Speaker, back to the more substantive issue of what the Honorable Nyekal has raised. And the Leader of Minority also averred that Honorable Nyekal had confirmed that the Speaker alluded that there was an approval of the motion. And Honorable Speaker, it is true what the Honorable Leader of Minority says. We are a house of procedures. And procedurally, what happens when you request for an approval of a motion of adjournment from the Speaker will approve it, and it will go back to the clerk's office for it to find its way to the House. The fact that that motion is not on the clerk's desk here, because I have checked with the clerk's desk, and there is no such motion that is approved. Two, the Honorable Nyekal says it is the Deputy Speaker who mentioned that it might have been approved. But he also says that he took the motion to the substantive Speaker. So if it was never approved by the substantive Speaker, means there was no approval. Two, Honorable Speaker, nothing stopped the Honorable Nyekal. If that was before the Eid holiday, nothing stopped him today, even in the absence of the substantive Speaker, from drafting another motion and requesting the Deputy Speaker to approve it for tabling before the House, Honorable Speaker. Three, Honorable Speaker, this matter, no, I was listening, Honorable Speaker, to the interruptions by the member for Busia. And you know, the other day I told her very pleasant things. I do not want to say unpleasant things. My good friend, Honorable Catherine Amayo. She is my very good friend, by the way, for the record. Very good friend in the recent past, and I have said a number of very good things about her. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, the Honorable Nyekal is aware that indeed the intern doctors and other officials of KMPDU did submit a petition to this House, which was brought by the Honorable Pukose and committed before the Petitions Committee. And therefore, this is a matter that is already live before the House and before a committee. Two, Honorable Speaker, I have just read today's statement, Honorable Speaker, and maybe Honorable Nyekal was not listening when I was reading today's statement. I've already tabled it on the table, Honorable Speaker. But I did state that next week, 17th of April, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Health, CS Nakumicha, shall be in this House to answer to nothing else other than the first question. I can't remember the member who had asked the question. The member for Westlands, who is a member of ODM, the Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, has a question that he has caused the Cabinet Secretary to appear next week on Wednesday to answer on the particular issue that the Honorable Nyekal is asking us to adjourn the House to discuss. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would beg that we proceed with business, because the request by the Honorable Nyekal, in fact, he rose on a point of order, not on a motion of adjournment. This is not the way to seek for a motion of adjournment. And therefore, I would plead that in line with what the Honorable J.B. Muturi would always say, this is not business. We go to the business on the order paper for the day, and we wait for next week when the Cabinet Secretary will be here. And the Honorable Nyekal is a polished medic. He can take the Cabinet Secretary. And I want to invite you, Honorable Nyekal and Honorable Pio and I, come and take the Cabinet Secretary to account. And every other member of this House is at liberty to do that next week. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would beg that you close this matter at that, because I was getting very apprehensive, because we are now on the verge of discussing the person or the conduct of the Speaker, from what I heard from the other side, and we should never allow ourselves to get to that point. And therefore, I want to beg that we go on with business. This is not business.
Honorable members, indeed, the screen is full of interventions. And in the interest of time, the interest of time, honorable members, I would like to plead with you that we need to go to the business for the day. Honorable Nikal, you made your point. You made your point. I don't want to debate on this matter, but I'll give 1 minute to the Honorable Junet and 1 minute to the Honorable Murungara. Honorable Junet, 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, this is a very sad day, Madam Speaker, in Parliament. And Madam Speaker, Article 95 is very clear, Madam Speaker. It says that the National Assembly deliberates on and resolves issues of concern to the people, Madam Speaker, let me tell you something. If we cannot discuss on the floor of this House the issue of the medical personnel, Madam Speaker, I don't know why we should be in this House anymore. This is not the first time that an adjournment motion is being moved in this House, Madam Speaker. It has been moved before and it will be moved in the future. Mr. Honorable Jikal has done the right thing. He has written to the Speaker. It was approved by the Speaker. What is happening today in this afternoon in this House, Madam Speaker, is to gag us from discussing the crisis that is going on in this country of the health sector, Madam Speaker. If this matter cannot be discussed in Parliament, Mr. Speaker, do you want them to discuss in the streets what's happening? Like it's happening? So, Madam Speaker.
Thank you I'll give any 1 minute. My comment on this, Honorable Junet, is that that matter as we speak now is not in the order paper. Honorable Murungara, 1 minute also, just 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I do not think the chair is actually gagging anyone. The truth is that this is a house of rules and we must follow our rules of procedure every moment and at every step. And unfortunately, while the matter may be exactly what Honorable Nikal is saying, we do not have the approved motion. And the reason we do not have it is actually provided for under Standing Order number 33, that it can only be discussed unless the Speaker is satisfied. The problem is we do not have the approved one. Number two, we've just gotten rulings reiterating the position as regards this motion, that it may not be and may not be properly raised in the...
Your 1 minute is over. Honorable members, I would like us to move to the next motion, business for today. But I would like to say that nobody is gagging anyone. And I'll stick to the 3 issues. One is that this matter is already active as a petition. The chair, the Honorable CTNA, the vice chair, presented on Tuesday as per progress on this subject. And the third matter is that the cabinet secretary will be here and you are free to engage her on Wednesday. Honorable members, let's move to the next order. Order number 8.
Order number 8, the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, second reading, question to be put.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I would like now to put the question that the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023 be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of Parliament to establish the National Disaster Risk Management Authority, the County Disaster Risk Management Committees, to provide a legal framework for the coordination of disaster risk management activities and for connected purposes.
Thank you. Next
Order number 9, the Social Assistance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 80 of 2023, first reading. a bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Social Assistance Act and for connected purposes.
Honorable members, I would like to order that we reorganize business for the House, that we will go to order number 11, and then we'll come back to order number 10. So order number 11.
Order number 11, motion. Reports of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for 5 constituencies in Vihiga County. Resumption of debate.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, there is no one who was on the floor on this one, so it is open to debate. You may proceed. Those who have interest in debate in the motion number 11. Honorable members, can you please go to intervention if you intend to speak on this one? Order number 11. Well, honorable members, there be no interest. You are here, you are there? Honorable Kajuan.
Madam Speaker, we are still absorbing what has happened. But anyway, we will have another day. Every dog has its own day. Madam Speaker, the question of audit on CDF accounts is important. The other day I raised a quorum issue because we were just a few of us, 2, 3 or so. And in my considered opinion, it was better that members, especially from Vihiga County, were here when we discussed this issue, because I am sure the residents in Vihiga County are curious and are glued to their televisions to watch how public monies which are spent in their county is used, and the process in which those monies are audited. And I just rise to show how this new constitution has given Mwananchi an opportunity for transparency in the use of public resource. That public resource is first budgeted by this House. It is allowed to go to the implementer, which is the executive. It is transmitted to the people who do the projects, and then the Auditor General has an opportunity to look at the funds, the public funds, and that report comes to this House to find out if the audit reports have been acted upon or not. It gives a different information than what people used to know, or what the detractors of CDF have peddled before. They've wanted us to believe that CDF is something which is owned by members of this House. But you can see that money is disbursed by the national government. It goes to a ministry called National Planning and administered by something called Constituency Development Fund Board, where there is a manager and a funds manager, then there is a committee, then there is a PMC that actually literally implements those things. Then the Auditor General comes in to see the use of that money. And we, because we oversight that money, because we give that money in terms of budgets, we then come at last to be able to see how that Auditor General reports have been. So, Madam Speaker, this is the essence that I wanted to bring out. Quite apart from the issue that this is happening in Vihiga County itself. But it is the same if you go to Tharaka-Nithi, that is the same situation. If you go to Nairobi, that should be the same situation. So those people who are out there, who are disabusing CDF, those people who are there who are salivating on the funds, that the only funds that wananchi are able to see their fruits. Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, I always wonder, the funds which are provided by the county governments, which are provided by the assemblies, they are budgeted by the assemblies, which are given to the governors to implement. I always wonder to what extent the Auditor General looks at those books and how they come back to the assemblies, as in this case. But you know, the governors would want to use this CDF. They would want to put their finger on the lid, on the honeypot, just because they think that this is money which does not have some audit mechanism, you know, the freebies that they can just enjoy the way they used to enjoy all the monies that are in the county. So today we want to show them. Anybody watching this debate will now follow that county governments, as opposed to CDF, are applying money in an opaque manner which is not accessible to the Auditor General, and if it does, it is not brought back to the assemblies to be able to see how those wards or how those counties, that those monies are used. And so, Madam Speaker, that is the point I wanted to prosecute. And I think going forward, looking at the reports that are coming from the Auditor General, I've seen the report, and I've also seen the committee's decisions on them. They are very fundamental, but I have not seen in any of those constituencies something which is beyond salvage. And so I want to congratulate the constituencies for being within their spending levels and for giving value for money for the projects which are there. And we know it. When we drive, even in Meru, every time you see a corner, you'll see Igembe Secondary School, and you'll see what the Member of Parliament has done. Everything is listed there. I'm still waiting to see Igembe ECD, which is being done by the county. And I want to see how the governor has implemented that school. I'm still waiting to see. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Gitonga Murungara, member for Tharaka.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the motion that we adopt the report of the committee on the 5 constituencies that are actually under discussion. May I point out that with the recent amendments to the CDF Act, members of Parliament have no role to play in CDF anymore. And this must be very clear to everybody. Even the oversight role that was given at the constituencies has been removed, so that now members of Parliament would have to come to this house, debate, adopt or reject reports similar to this one. We do not want to hear cases all over. Members of Parliament have misappropriated funds for CDF, have mishandled CDF, or have done anything. CDF now is fully in the hands of the board, the National Government CDF board, and at the constituency level, we have the CDF committee. It is a CDF committee that is supposed to actually be dealing with the monies disbursed. After that, it's supposed to prepare reports. Those reports are audited by the various entities that go to the constituencies, including the board itself, the Auditor General, and any other auditor who is supposed to check the accounts. After this is done, those reports are brought here, and members of Parliament now have to discuss and see how their CDF is actually used. So we hope that this misnomer that CDF is under execution, implementation by this House is totally misplaced. We do not do any of that anymore, and therefore nobody should go to court to challenge the fact that CDF is in the hands of members of parliament, because that is not true. So our work here is actually to oversight once reports are brought here, and we leave it to the committees to receive the money, to actually make the budgets which are approved by the board, and at the end of the day execute those budgets. So if even where matters are pending in the court, this remains the position, and it's a position that should be made very clear wherever. With those remarks, I do urge that this report be adopted.
Honorable Kawanjiko.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this debate and to clearly state that we support the auditor's report, and actually a lot of work that is happening within the constituency, and I'm certain that our county government should be able to learn from what the NGCDF is doing, especially in terms of implementations of project, making sure that we oversight or we are able to see whatever the NGCDF committees and the boards are doing. Some of these functions in all our constituencies and in most of our counties, if you move around, the project that you'll be able to see and the billboards happening within the constituencies are done by the NGCDF. You cannot be able to see anything that is done by the county government. So the issue of making sure that we oversight the NGCDF, making sure that there is proper school infrastructure, making sure that we are able even to participate as far as the new curriculum for the CBC is happening within our constituency. It is happening because the CDF and the members of the National Assembly have been able to implement and to oversight some of these projects, Madam Speaker. And we want to congratulate even the President, because the other day he was able to continue or to increase the funding of the NGCDF, and he stated that the ministry has no business in constructions of classes, and he gave that responsibilities, Madam Speaker, to the NGCDF, and we were able to be he was able to increase to about 7 million shillings to every constituency to make sure that we are able to implement new classrooms for the sake of grade 6 and grade 7 and the CBC, Madam Speaker. So in short, I'm trying to say that there is a lot that is happening within the constituency. We are proud, the members of the NGCDF, and we are also hopeful as we move forward that we are going to receive more funds so that we can continue to implement some of the serious projects, especially the issue of security, especially the issue of making sure that we have enough infrastructure, and even making sure some of the schools, you realize that the classrooms that we have are not even enough, Madam Speaker. And we also have less funds. You may want to do much as far as the constituencies are concerned, as far as the schools, classrooms are concerned, as far as the security is concerned of our area, Madam Speaker. And therefore, this issue of NGCDF, we support it, and we are also waiting for the NADCO report so that we can make sure that is enshrined within the constitution, and we make it mandatory. We don't have to go back and forth with our courts on issues of NGCDF, Madam Speaker, so that we can fully implement all the projects that are undertaken, especially the infrastructure projects that are undertaken by the ministry and as well by the security team within our constituencies. Therefore, I support the Auditor General report. I'm sure they have done a good job, and I'm also sure that NGCDF is doing an amazing work back in Machinani, Madam Speaker. I support, Madam Speaker.
Okay, there be no further interest on this subject. I'd like to call upon the mover to reply. The Honorable Muliungi. Okay, next order.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
35, yeah. Chair, I wish to...
This is the Committee of the Whole House on the National Government Administration Laws, Amendment Bill number 73 of 2023. Nothing out of order yet. Honorable Jeanette, you can resume your seat. Nothing out of order yet. But I'm not giving you the chance, you're going to resume your seat. Correct. What is out of order? The Honorable Jeanette was out of order.
I wish to raise under Standing Order 35 and request the Speaker to ascertain whether there is quorum in the House. Quorum. Huh? Yeah. Chair, whether there is quorum or not, I would like to request you to ascertain it under Standing Order 35. Because, you know...
Is that all? Okay. I thought there was something very fundamentally wrong with the procedure. That used to be done by that used to be done by okay, let's ring the bell for the quorum. I was going to say that, but then yeah, let's ring the quorum bell for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes. Honorable members, order. The Honorable Lesuda, you resume your seat. No member leaves the chamber when the quorum bell is being rung. No member leaves the chamber when the quorum bell is being rung. Only the whips. No, our rules are clear. No member leaves the chamber when the quorum bell is being rung.
The House at 16:53 p.m. this afternoon lacks the quorum to continue with its business lined up for consideration this afternoon. We have the quorum bell being rung for members of the National Assembly to make their way back into the chamber this afternoon to allow the House raise the numbers for consideration of business. Honorable Jeanette Mohammed stood on point of order number 35, informing the chair that the House lacked a quorum to continue with its business this afternoon. Owing to that, a particular notification by Honorable Member Jeanette Mohammed, the chair, has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes before the House considers its business lined up for debate, for consideration, or rather under order number 10. In order number 10, the House will be considering its business lined up for consideration under the Committee of the Whole. And away from that, just before the notification that the House had lacked quorum, the House was considering the aspect of committees in NGCDFs. In regards to the report of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for constituencies, that those constituencies are in particular in Vihiga County as well as in Bungoma County. Person to Standing Orders number 35 of the House on matters quorum. These standing orders of the House stipulate that if at any given time when the chair is taken and when the House is in committee, a member objects that there is no quorum present, the Speaker or the chairperson shall count the members in the House or the committee as might be the case. And if on the count under paragraph 1 the quorum does not appear to be present, then the Speaker or the chair shall cause for the bell to be rung. And if no quorum is present at the expiration of the 10 minutes, then the chair or the Speaker shall adjourn the House until the next sitting without the question being put. So we are waiting to see if indeed the House is going to raise the number required, the number being 45, when the House is sitting, at any particular time when the House is sitting. And as we wait for that particular quorum to be attained, allow me to take you through some of the issues that have been raised during this afternoon sitting, being a request that the Committee on Matters Tourism do summon the Cabinet Secretary to answer 2 questions in regards to the enrollment and hiring of the reservists. The ratification of the African Union Convention on Matters Cross-Border Cooperation is a motion that the House will delve into this afternoon, as well as the debate on the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill, this being National Assembly Bills number 10 of the year 2024. The issue of fertilizer is an issue that emerged during this afternoon sitting, as well as forceful disappearance of a businessman from Eldas constituency. And the chair of that committee was required by the House to tell the House when the committee will be providing details in regards to the whereabouts of the popular businessman in Eldas constituency. And the House will be given that response in the next 7 days. That was a reply or an answer before the House through the deputy vice chairperson, the vice chairperson rather, of the National Assembly Administration and Security Committee, Honorable Member for Saku, who was somehow pressed to give the 7 days initially. He had said that the answer would be ready in 14 days. But then again, owing to the magnitude of the matter and the members raising concerns over matters to do with forceful disappearances in the country, the committee asked that it be given at least 7 days to speak to the ministry and to get those answers. After completion of the matters under the Committee of the Whole, the House will this afternoon consider the ratification of the African Union Convention on Matters Cross-Border Cooperation. This is a motion by the Departmental Chair on Matters Defense and Foreign Relations, that the House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Matters Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on its consideration of the African Union Convention on Matters Cross-Border Cooperation. The House laid its report on the table of the House on the 14th of March 2024 and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8, Subsection 4 of the Treaty Making and Ratification Act of 2012 approves the ratification of the African Union Convention on Matters Cross-Border Cooperation. Once the House has attained the requisite quorum this afternoon, under the Committee of the Whole, the House will be considering the National Government Administrative Laws. This is National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill. This is a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 73 of the year 2023. The County Licensing Uniform Procedures Bill, Bill number 9 of the year 2022, by the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Matters Trade, Decentralized Funds, is a bill that is set for consideration this afternoon. And away from that, the House is also considering the Social Assistance Amendment Bill. This is National Assembly Bills number 80 of the year 2023 by Peter Masara. This is a bill that was introduced to the House for the first time, popularly known as the first reading. And after reading of that particular bill for the first time, then the bill will undergo the second as well as the third stage, being the requisite stages that a bill must go through before it's adopted by the House. If so,
Honorable members, the bell having been rung for more than 10 minutes, and from where I sit, I see the situation is still as the same as it was when the bell started ringing. I move that we move for reporting.
Chairperson.
The Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the House, of the whole House, the consideration of the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill number 73 of 2023 was interrupted due to lack of quorum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable members, in view of the foregoing, Pursuant to Standing Order number 35 2B, let us be upstanding. And the time being 15:05 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 16th day of April 2024 at 2:30 p.m.